Okay, so on this video now, we're going to talk about the larynx, which, like I've mentioned before, the larynx is your voice box. That's your Adam's apple. When you see the front of somebody's throat, you're looking at their Adam's apple. You have 9 cartilages, and the top of it's called the glottis. So you actually have a little covering on the top of it that when you swallow, it covers the glottis so food doesn't go down into the windpipe or into the trachea. And you've probably been eating before, and all of a sudden you realize the food's going into the wrong pipe and you start choking. Okay, that's basically the windpipe it's going into, or it's going into the larynx, actually. And so the covering that covers over the larynx is the epiglottis. So like it says, covered by the epiglottis during swallowing, keeps solids and liquids out of the airways, and it's made of elastic cords. By the way, it doesn't say it here. We'll say it coming up. These 9 cartilages are C-shaped, and the reason they're C-shaped is because what's going to happen. No, I'm sorry. I'm thinking of the wrong thing. So yeah, it's made up of 9 cartilages. I was thinking of the trachea. I got ahead of myself. So it's made up of 9 cartilages, and it supports the true vocal cords. And like it says here, when exhaled hair vibrates, that's how you make sound. It's very hard to talk when you're breathing in. Usually you're making sound as you're breathing out. And this is what the larynx looks like from the front. And I wish that we could dissect, because you can actually see parts of this really well. If you remember, we had our hyoid bone. And our hyoid bone, we had the greater horns, we had the lesser horns, and then here we had the body. And what we said was, this helps you swallow. Okay, and there's your thyrohyoid ligament. So it's going from the hyoid to the thyroid. If you notice, this is called the thyroid cartilage. This thyroid cartilage is not the thyroid gland. That's something different. But you can see this is pretty hard too. This is actually pretty hard. And then you have the cricoid cartilage, which is down here. Okay, so far pretty easy. I mean, this is not part of the larynx. The epiglottis is. And if we were to look at this, if we were in class, this would probably be about the size of your fingernail on your pinky, maybe even smaller, probably even smaller on a rabbit. On a human, it's going to be bigger. Okay, but this is just what it looks like from the front as we look at it. And now this is looking at it from the back. So you can see there's the epiglottis still, right here. And so this would actually close down over this so that you could swallow. All right, and then the other parts are just pieces that I just want you to know. Again, we have the thyroid cartilage, which is the big piece in front. We have the corniculate cartilage. As you can see, it's just this little part right here. Corniculate. And you can actually see these, like I said, on when we dissect. The cuneiform cartilage. If you remember, you had cuneiform bones in your foot. A cuneiform bone, not bones. You have your false vocal cords, which we'll look at in a minute, and then you have your actual vocal cords. All right, and then you got the arytenoid cartilage right here too. Okay, so this slide is just the matter and the cricoid cartilage. Remember, we can see this from the front also, the cricoid. So on these two, we could actually see these from the front. You can actually see the top of the epiglottis from the front also. Everything over here, you just see from the back. Okay, and then if we look now, we're looking straight down the top of the larynx. So the first picture we saw was looking at it from the front, right? Then we looked at it from the back, right? And now we're looking straight down into it. And as you can see, we have our vocal cords here. And we have the vocal cord here. And then you can see we have the false vocal cords, which is going to be all this area in here. And also over in here are false vocal cords. Okay? So for the most part, the way that this is going to work is you will have, and hopefully I'll be able to find a video on it. When you talk, these two pieces And let me go down here a little bit. These two pieces hit together. And what they will do is they make sound as they hit together. And the way the air comes through these will make the sound. So you're looking at it from the top down, the air would be coming up towards you, and these would just be open and closing. So you just saw a picture of this, what it looked like when it was open, and now you can see what it looks like when it's closed. And again, as you're doing this, this is going back and forth real fast, because think of all the different sounds that you make as you talk. Okay, and this is looking at it once again. You can see the vocal cords are basically right in here. All right, here's your false vocal cords, like it says. There's your false vocal cords. And here's some of your ligaments and stuff. By the way, to get this picture, because I've actually had this done, what they do is they go up through your nose, and then they come back to the back of your throat, and that's how they look at this. So I just want to go through this again. This is, as we're looking here, like I said, these open and close. So sometimes what will happen is as people sing and do things like that, they will actually get a little nodule on this. And to give you an idea what it's like, if you've ever like worked in a garden or anything for a long time and used shovels and stuff like that, you'll get like a callus on your hands at the base of your fingers. The same thing can happen here on the voice box and on the vocal cords. And when it does, air escapes. Instead of this closing tightly, air will escape. And I actually had this happen to me at one time, and you would sound like Batman. I'm Batman. Your voice would sound like that. So normally what they can do is they can go in and they can cut this out. And when they cut it out, what happens is you can't talk for a few days. So I got lucky because I ended up going to this physical or speech therapist who actually was able to help me with this. And she got rid of my problem. And part of it was just you had to drink a lot of water too. So happens in singers. Julie Andrews, who was in Mary Poppins, had a really great singing voice, and then she got nodules on her nodules on her voice box, and when she did, she lost her singing voice. Another person who had it happen was Kim Carnes, and she sang a song such as "It's a Heartache" and "Total Eclipse of the Heart." And she had a career and it was going okay. And then what happened was she ended up getting nodules on her voice box. And so she went and got the surgery, and they told her she couldn't talk for a few days and for like 2 weeks. And that was driving her crazy. So one day she just screamed. And they told her, we think you damaged your vocal cords forever. Well, what happened is it changed her singing voice, and she became very deep voiced. And then her career actually took off because her voice was so unique. So what we're going to watch here is a video of a voice box working. Now, if you notice, these are the actual vocal cords. All right, these are the vocal cords, true vocal cords. Over here is my false vocal cords. All right, and so we're going to watch now as this works. You're going to hear the person singing or say, ah. Okay, so I made a mistake. It was Bonnie Tyler. It wasn't Kim Carnes, whose voice had changed. And I don't know why I always get those people mixed up. But anyways, here's her voice before she actually had the surgery. Okay, and now here she is after she had surgery. Okay, so you can see the difference in her voice from before and after the surgery. And so that's it for the voice box.